What's up, y'all? I wanted to talk about a few things, actually. I don't really know where to start, so I'm gonna just start talking. I was talking past couple of days with a few people in the shelter with me, and there's something that came up um, where people want you to put in a lot of like physical effort, like they want to see that you are doing certain things to, you know, that shows that you're doing what they think is the right thing. And if you're doing other things, like if you're not serious or stressing or anything like that, then you must not be doing the work. And I wanted to talk on that because that type of energy is spreading, you know, throughout my conversations with different people. So I guess I want to talk about control. I want to talk about anxiety, because past couple of days I found myself in a different state than I've been, and I think it's important to talk about control. We like how we always try to control a situation, especially if you're in a shelter and you're trying to get from one position to the next. Uh, we get into these things of trying to do everything we can physically, which is important to do, yes. But even in times when it's time for rest, relaxation, rejuvenation, there's no time for that, because you're still constantly in your head. You're constantly in your mind about what you should be doing, what you need to do. And especially in the shelter, you're around a bunch of different characters. So you're trying to stay away from other characters, and but you're consuming your time that you should be resting, rejuvenating, you know, speaking about other people and their situations, and how you're not trying to be like this one and that one, and maybe even making fun of them. And I want to talk about that, because it still causes anxiety, because of you're comparing yourself with others, and you're in a place where you don't want to be, and you want to be somewhere else, but there's nowhere to go right now. You know what I mean? There's nowhere to go. And I think oftentimes, no matter what the situation is, we miss or we forget, our opportunity that we have, and we forget that we should be making the best of our opportunity, and we forget the positives behind the things, and the things that we can actually use and act on. And but specifically when it comes to rest and rejuvenation, we don't act on rest and rejuvenation. We're so consumed with the day, and I think that when you feel like you've done everything you can and there's nothing moving, and you're not getting to your goal, thinking big is not really helpful. It causes more anxiety, because you're not able to do anything about it. You can't do anything about changing the big thing. So taking small steps is a lot more important. You're not going to take down the whole wall in a day. Brick by brick, you're going to take down the wall eventually. And so even if it's little steps by little steps, it doesn't always have to be a big thing. And that's another thing I wanted to talk about, is transcending like the battle, transcending the idea of an enemy, transcending the idea of war, spiritual warfare, and all that kind of stuff like that. How to transcend that, how to deal with that when that's upon you. I'll do another video on that. But as far as the war inside of you, we deal with ourselves mainly. We are our own enemy, especially when we're dealing with things like anxiety. We're not placing ourselves in the right frame of mind to deal with the day-to-day things and be at peace, even in your situation, even in situations that may be difficult to deal with. So yeah, you don't need to burden yourself every minute of the day, especially in times that when you need to be at rest and enjoying your time. You don't need to burden yourself with the ideas in the future and all that kind of stuff. Did you do what you needed to do today? Did you get done the goals that you plan to get done today? All right, cool. Now it's time to rest. Is there anything else that you can do that's going to make you more at peace right now? If the answer is no, then all right, then let it go, drop it. Tomorrow is another day. You know what I mean? Let's rest, rejuvenate, let's build our strength up so that we have the energy to attack the day again tomorrow with a fresh plate of goals and a fresh perspective and a rejuvenated mind, a rejuvenated body. You know what I mean? Feeling good, feeling light. I don't care about anyone else around you who thinks that you dancing, you laughing, you playing your music, you laughing with others and talking with others is somehow you wasting your time, or somehow you not being serious about what's going on. And who cares what those people think about you? People laugh, people make jokes, people talk, and when you go into rooms, you can see everybody start quieting up, because obviously, they're judging, and it doesn't matter if people want to talk to you or not. You know what I mean? When, in situations where things are hard, you have to prioritize you. You have to prioritize your peace. You have to prioritize your connection with Source and the infinite. And that's what it's more about. Is if you not familiar with it, take the time to cultivate it. And if you are familiar with it, take the time to always connect back. And that's how we deal with the inner battle within ourselves. Really being aware is really the whole thing. Being aware and noticing that you are in a state of anxiety, in a state of control, trying to control and make the future happen, and always in the future thinking about where you could be, where you should be, and then jumping into the past and thinking about where I was and what I was doing, and where are we now? You know what I mean? Where are we now? What can we do now? You know what I mean? Where are we now? And are we connected right now? And a lot of that stuff has to do with the fact that we're misplaced in our nowness. Within our own beings, we're misplaced. We're future and past. We're just jumping back and forth. We're never present. So I just wanted to talk about that, curbing anxiety and control, and not allowing others to pull our energy, because that goes into the whole battle, the whole warfare thing. You know what I mean? Regardless if it's people physically in front of you, or if you're perceptive of beings or others that's tugging on your energy, that pulls you into war, because then we have to do other things. We have ways of doing battle where we protect ourselves and things like that. I'll talk about that in another video, but I just wanted to start by sharing my perspective. I wanted to get into energy videos and stuff like that, but it's a process for me that's more personal. I guess I'll get into it later. I think it's more important to talk about the struggles that we have now and how to transcend them, or not even transcend them, but notice that we have a choice no matter what we do. Notice that we have a choice in everything. And that's where our power is in the choice. It's knowing that we have a choice whether to be there or to be here, regardless of what it is, whether we're going to be here right now, be at peace, we're going to feel good, because we can wait for the future to come to feel peace, but there's really no need for that. There's no need to wait, and that's where the control comes from. We feel like we need to, be more aggressive in our physical approach to make changes, and that causes anxiety, and it's very limited with what we can do physically at times, especially in situations when you're in a shelter and you have people around you telling you this and that, and you should be doing this, and if you're not doing that, then you're not serious, and you're down with the crew that's just wasting time, or when you go to get benefits or whatever, and they keep telling you no, and you need to come back, and you need to do this, and you need a lot of things is just not in our control, and it's not really up to us to control. It's about staying connected to source, keeping yourself centered in your being, which is source, and moving from there, not taking things personal, not taking things too harshly, and just being easy with yourself and being easy with your life. And because we understand things do just happen, and we also understand that if we are being honest with ourselves, that how our choices get us to certain places. It's not about that, though. It's about where we are now, seeing and being aware of ourselves, being aware of our opportunity, and just using it to the best of our abilities. Being in a shelter, we also have case managers, and I also hear conversations about, oh, well, you should be talking with them, and they're going to do this and that for you. And my perspective is, no one is going to do anything for you. It's you. It's always you, and you could talk to whoever you want, you can do all that, but ultimately it's up to you to go and speak, and it's up to you to go and put in the work and do all those things, because they're not going to do that for you. They're not going to go do your interviews for you. They're not putting in job applications for you. They're not going with you to go get the benefits. They're not talking to anyone on the phones for you. You know what I mean? It's you doing that. So as much as I feel for the people in the shelter with me, I think there's a notion that there's someone that can do something for you, or that can change your situation. And I don't see it like that. I see it as it's just you. It's just you that has the power to do all of that. And through other people seeing that, they lend a hand. They lend assistance, in certain areas that you may need. But it's really just you, So just wanted to talk on that. There's flies all around the place. I don't know what's going on. But thanks for listening. I'll talk to you guys in another video. Peace, love, and blessings to everyone. Bye.